Today's episode is brought to you by Security Financial Management.
Ooh, welcome back to Best Advice Podcast, guys. I'm your host, Rob Lovaglio, here as always with Frank Lovaglio, Dave Allen, founders of Security Financial Management, our sponsors. Gentlemen, what's crack-a-lackin'?
I feel good.
I'm feeling good, right? Beginning of 2025, good year. The market had a good year.
Yeah.
Everybody's healthy.
The gym's packed.
Yeah, exactly. Got some
All
good
the
football.
new year, new me.
I have a Notre Dame son-in-law that went to Notre Dame. He's all excited, and I got some friends that
Who
are
do they
Detroit.
play this weekend?
I think they play.
Is it Saturday?
At Penn State. Penn State.
Penn State,
Saturday.
yeah.
A little scared for Penn State.
Yeah,
actually.
I mean they're tough. I also have some really good friends from Detroit, and Detroit has been horrible. If you ask them, I mean I'm not a Detroit guy, but they are. And
In the NFL, you mean?
Yeah, the NFL. They've been bad for 50 years, I think,
They're
and they're
awesome
just
right now.
killing it.
Yeah.
So
It's like when Cleveland finally got LeBron and they became like a team,
yeah,
and everyone's like, "Oh, this is awesome! This is fun!"
This is great. The quarterback of the Bills.
The Bills, oh,
it's
yeah.
just so tough. And then the play, I thought, and I'm going to stop talking football, but it's fun. The Notre Dame quarterback who has a really cool relationship with his mom. My wife loves the little story
What's
about.
his name?
She says to him before every game because he started getting a big head. There's a great story on it. I think they did it on game day, and he said, Mom, sometimes I just need to be brought down to earth. And you know what his mom says before every game? You suck. And then he fires him up. So you gotta read that story. And of course, my wife's like, "Oh, that's so cool, that relationship with her son."
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's what she says to him.
Oh,
You
like
suck.
that. Yeah,
You
yeah,
suck.
piss
And
you off a little bit before the game
he's
starts.
Like,
Yeah.
I'm ready to win now.
My wife says that to me every morning also.
But she means it.
Try not to suck.
Oh no! We suck again!
Wait a minute.
All right.
Oh, man. No, Kathy, really, you don't say that to me.
Never.
You've never said that to me ever.
We like to start each episode with a powerful practice of positive thinking. We like to call this, give me something good.
Give me something good. Give me something good.
Nice.
I want to give you something good.
Nice. Double nice.
We can double dip.
My Give Me Something Good today is an ancient technique that was recently brought back to life by modern neuroscientists, right? And this is called the Vision Quest method. Has anyone done the Vision Quest method before?
Not.
Never.
Okay, so it essentially is a technique for calming anxiety and the complexities of a human brain, right? So this is how we do it. You guys gonna do it with me?
You go
Left
deep
hand
on
up,
me. You go
right?
deep on me.
Everyone.
Alrighty, just a 10-minute power nap.
I need a commitment. I need a commitment.
1 second.
So if you take your left hand and you cover your left eye,
Left
right?
and left. Remember, L's got
Everyone.
the L in it, Dave.
Yeah, commit.
That's my left hand, left
And
eye.
if you look up at the ceiling and then breathe 3 deep breaths,
What's
you're going to
supposed to
feel
happen?
your anxiety kind of leave your
I'm
body.
more nervous than I
right?
was when I started.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
The goal is to turn off the brain that cause the part of the brain that causes anxiety, right? So when you're doing that, what happens is we engage a unique neural pathway while activating the tranquil sector of your brain. The tranquil sector of your brain is what is the part of your brain when you do when you exercise.
Yeah,
when you mediate. Yes.
Talk to you guys in a couple
So
minutes.
it turns that on, and it takes away the part of your brain from anxiety, and that's it. That was it, guys.
I like it. That's good. That's good.
This man is a genius.
I hope it works.
Let's go on to the question of the day. Today's question comes from Marvin from Thornton Park. Thornton Park's Orlando, isn't it?
Yes.
Now, there we go, baby.
We're Orlando guy.
Marvin, what you got for us?
You want to say something?
All right, guys, Marvin says, first off, thanks for the amazing year-end strategies episode. It was incredibly insightful. As we kick off the new year, I'd love your advice on top strategies to start the year strong. Should I be thinking about rebalancing my portfolio and adjusting my holdings?
Thank you, Marvin. Gentlemen, will you please take this over?
Dave, why don't
Sure.
you grab this one?
I'll be happy to. Marvin from Thornton Park.
Yeah, Orlando man.
Close to town. That's a cool part of town, Thornton Park.
I don't
They got
spend much time there. I've heard it's cool.
nice.
They
Good
got some-
restaurants.
the young people love it.
Yeah.
You know, I guess
A lot-
I
a couple-
would have loved it in my past.
Yeah, you're old.
You ever want to learn patience? Sit with your father and watch him enter his email address with an Apple TV remote.
Not close to downtown,
Livingston
yeah.
and that area down there. Yeah, it's a pretty cool spot. Anyway, well, let's get to it here. Marvin, it is a new year, and everybody's got the New Year's resolutions, and the statistics of keeping a New Year's resolution is actually dismal.
It's pretty bad, isn't it?
It's
Really?
pretty bad.
Yeah.
But everybody's
yeah.
going to join the gym, and they last about a month, and they're back home eating
I
cake.
literally will work out at home first month of New Year's every year because it's just so miserable going to the gym.
Oh no! Yeah, you got everybody in the world
Yeah.
trying to
And sure enough,
turn their keg into a six pack.
come February, everyone's gone. Everyone's gone.
February 1,
Yeah.
it's empty.
And then, Feb 1, it's empty. But the same thing happens with investments. A lot of people do not pay attention to it. Let's talk about your 401k, your accounts. Life moves on, and you haven't looked at it. It's probably a good idea to just take a good look at everything. Your 401k probably has a feature to rebalance. It rebalances, and there, you might not even have a plan to your, some people just say, I'm going to choose that one that's a target date fund, which automatically rebalance, so you don't have anything there. But you might have chosen a couple investments in there. And with those investments, there might not be any game plan, or there might have been a game plan, but it might be time that to change your thought process.
Sure.
So,
yeah.
what do you think, Frank?
Makes sense. I think, at the end of the year, you got a few things we talked about on the last show. We got tax harvesting, right, where you take some losses against gains, you kind of clean it up, and then the beginning of the year, you look at a portfolio and say, hey, this last year, of course, equities ran, technology equities, the Magnificent Seven has been magnificent for the last couple of years. So if you have some technology, that's probably got a lot of profits. So you might want to take some of that technology, those gains,
Markets are
from it,
broadening out
right?
a little bit.
A little broader. That Magnificent Seven gains, which have been substantial. Maybe you pull some of that and put it into some Dow stuff, some blue chip, kind of conservative, high dividend stuff. Those are just, of course, these are just broad ideas. People that want to know more about it, give us a buzz. But it's a good time to kind of look at your portfolio. And I read something the other day that was really interesting too, how little people pay attention to this stuff. I read something, I think it was in the Wall Street Journal, I forget the source, but it said people spend more time planning an annual vacation than they do reviewing their portfolio. That's been around for a while.
That's
Think about it.
messed up, man.
So it's just the key is to pay attention to
That's
it.
most people, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a few that
don't. A few that spend all day doing it, and that's over the top too. But it's just a great time to kind of look at everything, make sure. The other thing I would say is people's risk tolerance, I think, is very interesting when you do these rebalancing things. In 22, when the market got hit hard, say down maybe 20% equities or more, people were like, I may want to look at my risk tolerance, because when markets are going down, that's a good time to take a gut check. Now, last year was the opposite. It was up 20-ish. So, sometimes people think they're more aggressive, but when we educate people, it's like, look at when the market goes down, how you really feel. Because if you have losses, that's a gut check.
Think back to 22.
Right.
2020, when the market went down, or even 22.
Yeah,
the
22 is more recent.
How did you feel?
Yeah, right.
Did you have a little anxiety when the markets were ripping and rolling, or did it not bother you?
Right.
That's risk tolerance.
That's right.
So if you
Real
sat
risk
there
tolerance,
and you're stressed and it made you keep looking at your computer, you kept turning on CNBC, you were watching the stock page in there, that's not healthy at all.
Exactly.
So if you're doing that too much, that means you're inappropriately invested and you're worried about it, and that's not worth it, because guess what? You'll end up with anxiety and you'll die early. So what's the good your portfolio gonna
And
do?
also things change, right? Like you have a kid, like NASCAR drivers, like the people who sponsor the NASCAR driver, they won't sponsor someone who has a kid because they say they're worse drivers when they have a kid because they have more to lose. So they're not.
So what happens if you're
They're
financial-
tight.
So it's
tight.
I think you're better if you got a financial advisor.
Yeah.
You work harder, right?
That's right.
Well, my point is like
That's right.
risk change. Your thought process change. You
Yeah.
might be more bullish or less bullish. You
Yeah.
don't know.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what we would recommend as an advisor is that if you have a financial advisor, I would set an appointment, go in and see them, bring copies of all your statements, bring your 401k statement, your advisor, if you're active with them, they probably have it, maybe a link to it, look at everything you own, and do a overall glance at everything, because a lot of people don't coordinate what's going on with their retirement plan with what they have in other stuff. Make it all blend, because it is
Sure.
all one portfolio. Bring it in, your advisor. What we would do for you, and I've got a couple notes here. What we would do is we'd get all your statements, everything together. We'd pull everything you have with us. Then we would do a jam session with you. Has anything changed in your life? Is there still income needs? Is there income needs as your risk tolerance changed? Have you got a kid going to college? Whatever the case may be, reorganize for that new circumstance. Look at your risk tolerance. Look at your possible rebalancing if need to be, or changing it up. And then what we might complement that with just doing a goal plan, do a new retirement analysis. And we got great software. Most financial planning, if they're full-time in the business, they've got great software that will do a financial plan or a goal plan for you, and it will coordinate. It'll look at every aspect of your life. Let's take a look at your wills. Let's take a look at your trust. Let's take a look at your income taxes. Let's take a look at the big picture. That might be a really great start. So get with your advisor, do that, because a lot of the things those financial plans, a lot of them you can't do on your own, because that's kind of software that a firm like ours would have. And if you don't have an advisor, reach out to us. We'll be happy to talk to you. We have no-cost consultations.
I think the key is pay attention. Pay attention to your stuff, and make sure the new year is a good time to just take a real good hard look at everything. So hope we answered your question. Have a great day.
Have a nice day.
Hope that answered your question, Marvin. Remember, folks, the secret to wealth is not what you earn, it's what you keep. Happy days, everybody.
This podcast is for entertainment and educational purposes only and is not intended as personal financial advice. Before making any financial decision, please do your own research and consult a financial advisor as needed. If you have a question for the guys, email podcast@bestadvicepodcastguys.com.